Welcome back to Devil in a Small Town. In our last episode, we explored the camera footage that temporarily diverted the investigation into the disappearance of Julia Crawford. Now, in this episode, a long-awaited breakthrough finally sheds light on the mystery. After the backyard camera incident, Detective Bowen and the team regrouped to reevaluate their approach. The investigation takes a new direction as they revisit the evidence and Roth's statements. Bowen determines that he needs to go over everything again. There must be something he missed. As he meticulously re-examines the clues, an overlooked detail emerges, leading to a major breakthrough. While listening to Michael Roth's testimony again, Bowen heard something. Something Roth said caught Bowen's attention. Roth mentioned that Julia's ex-husband was into some kind of cult stuff, but she didn't give him many details about that part of her past, only that she wanted to put it behind her. The detective and his team worked tirelessly to track down Julia's ex-husband. It's a race against time, with the hope that he can lead them to Julia's whereabouts. Unfortunately, this mysterious ex-husband is not proving easy to find. The team works into the wee hours of the night, expending the last of their energy. A mountain of styrofoam coffee cups has engulfed the trash can. It now looks like a small white pyramid of garbage. Sweating from stress and pressure, Detective Bowen decides he needs to attempt to rally his team. Bowen stands on a chair and tells his team that they can't afford to make any mistakes, and that every minute passed that they don't find him could be the difference in finding Julia dead or alive, if at all. As they inch closer to tracking down the ex-husband, a renewed sense of hope washes over the department. One of the computer analysts rushes across the room, jumps up on top of a desk, and announces to everyone that they finally had the name, Richard M. Crawford. The town's residents are once again vested into the investigation, and the anticipation of solving the mystery builds once more. Finding out the name of Julia's ex-husband leads the detective and his team to a series of unexpected discoveries. The pieces of the puzzle were beginning to fit together, but what emerged is far from a complete picture. The search for Julia's ex-husband has led them to Boston. Richard M. Crawford closed his law firm in New York to join a private practice in Boston. Finding Mr. Crawford is a good lead, but it's just the beginning. Bowen and a fellow detective leave that night to drive to Massachusetts. They drive through the night and take turns napping in the passenger seat. In the early morning hours, they arrive in Boston. The two detectives pull over to a rest stop to freshen up and fill their mugs with coffee from the vending machine. Richard Crawford was not listed on any public records other than his employment at a private firm. Detective Bowen is now in Boston, but has no home address for Mr. Crawford, and the address of the private law firm he works for turns out to be an empty office building available for rent. Luckily for them, the rest of the officers left back in Goshen have continued to work through different angles to track down this mysterious ex-husband. An email pops up in Bowen's inbox. Once opened, he sees that it's a list of names. The subject read, "Potential friends and acquaintances." The team back in Goshen had scoured Richard's social media accounts to find that the majority of the names and contacts were fake. They were able to narrow it down to a list of 7 names. 2 were names of men that went to the same gym, 3 were men from a recreational golf league, and 2 were women that bartended at his favorite lounge bar. The detective interviews the friends, acquaintances, and anyone who might have insights into Mr. Crawford's whereabouts. One of the bartenders gives them a clue. They are led to an address of an office building where Richard invited her to visit one day when she didn't have to work. She said he gave off a slightly creepy vibe, so she never took him up on the offer. They visited the address in an attempt to question Mr. Crawford about his activities in the days leading up to the disappearance. He did not want to discuss anything about Julia or their past together. Within 30 seconds of walking into his office, Detective Bowen and his partner were already walking back outside. However, Richard left his calendar up on his computer, and Detective Bowen noticed an appointment that evening at 8 p.m. that was labeled Ceremony Planning with Marcus. Another thing he noticed was a set of books on the bookshelf related to the occult. With a short phone call, Bowen shared all of the knowledge gained in Boston with the rest of the force back in Goshen. Meanwhile, as the news travels back to Goshen, it becomes speculation that Julia was entangled in a complicated web of relationships and hidden agendas. Bowen decides it's time to start by tracking down Marcus. As the investigation progresses, it becomes increasingly clear that the mystery runs deeper than anyone initially thought. What is Richard Crawford hiding? The town is left in shock as the secrets of this seemingly innocent elementary school teacher's life gets exposed one by one. But the biggest question remains: who is Marcus, and how do these secrets connect to the disappearance? In the next episode, we'll continue to explore the intricate web of deceit and its implications for the investigation. Join us as we delve further into the saga. This is Devil in a Small Town.